Hey, this is Jonathan Breen, another fellow passer of the NClex. Just graduated nursing school in May of 2016. Took my NClex in June last Tuesday and passed it within 84 questions. Waiting for the results, though, was one of the toughest feelings I've ever experienced in my life. But once you get through it and you get the results back of passing, it's such an awesome feeling. That means more free time to myself, continue my career, definitely do more motorsports like my drifting and autocross and whatnot. And then another thing too I'll do in this video is I'm going to give a few tips on how to pass the NClex based on how I studied for it, and then also something a lot of my colleagues have been wanting me to do is put a couple of my medication rhymes up on YouTube. So first we'll start out with the NClex and how I managed to study for that. So our school used this program, well actually our school's PA College of Health Sciences. They use this program known as ATI, and they were telling us that if we're successful with ATI, that we should definitely be able to pass the NClex on our first try. And throughout nursing school, I was steadily getting level 2s on ATI, and then even when I did my comprehensive predictor, it told me I have a 98% chance of passing on my first try. Now ATI is actually an excellent source of information to study for the NClex. I feel like it doesn't really teach you how to apply the knowledge. I feel like it's good for firming up your knowledge foundation and then also building it, so this way you have the knowledge. But then after I did the ATI review that my school gave me, I then went and got the Kaplan book. Now the Kaplan book doesn't seem to go over too much information, but what it does is that it teaches you how to take the NClex. So I felt like what I did was, I did ATI first, got my knowledge down, and then I did Kaplan, and they have what's called a decision tree. The decision tree was definitely a big help in answering the questions. But here's what I did though. So I have those two down, but then I also purchased the UWorld application, which is an online application, 1900 question bank in it, and you could take 75 question tests at a time. Now I was averaging between like 50 to 60% on the test, and if that's what you're averaging on UWorld, that means you are doing pretty well. Because here's what I found is, the UWorld questions were a lot of select all that apply, and the UWorld questions looked a lot like NClex did, except for I felt that the UWorld questions were a lot harder. So as I was taking my NClex, I was getting a little bit discouraged because I felt that the questions were not nearly as hard as the UWorld questions. But then I realized that maybe UWorld just trains you that well for it. So my recommendation would be to somebody, ATI for knowledge, Kaplan for application-based, and then UWorld in order to solidify everything. Because UWorld also has a lot of graphics in it, and it has a lot of pictures in it too, and it goes through the rationales in a very detailed manner. So yes, that was my success story of the NClex. Okay, so now we're going to do a couple medication rhymes, and this is a shout out to all my people at PA College of Health Sciences, ones who graduated with me, ones who graduated before me, and for the ones who are going to graduate. So check this. If you think your patient's heart's going to wean, you better get out that epiatropine. If you need the blood pressure to chill, just hit them with lisinopril. And if you have fluid overload, you better get them on a Lasix pill. We in critical care, so you should know the drill. And that's why I'm getting all up in your grill. And if your diabetic patient goes comatose, you better hit him with an ambidextrose. 15 minutes later, you better check that glucose. My respiratory patients know me as Jay Breezy. I make patient care look easy. I give them a breathing treatment if they get a little wheezy. My GI patients know me as Johnny on the spot, 'cause if they constipated, I hit them with that Senecot. Oh snap, yo, gotta call the lab, have an RA patient on infliximab, gotta call the lab, hope that my results aren't too drab, need my patient's systolic blood pressure to wean, gonna hit him with that IV hydralazine, also known as apresoline, no bouts of SVT, we gonna hold the adenosine. Everybody, thanks for watching my video.